Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to lecture number 20. Lecture number 20 is about the elasticity of demand. Previously in law of demand we have read about the that when it states that when change in quantity demanded of a product, that is in responsive to the change in its price. So simply it means that when the price changes, the quantity demanded also changes. For example, if the price is high, then the quantity demand is low, and when the price is low, the quantity demand is high according to the price. तो जो हमारी क्वांटिटी डिमांड है, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन दी प्राइस ऑफ अ प्रोडक्ट. अब जो मेन चीज़ आती है, वी आर हेयर टू डिस्कस टुडे द इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड. व्हाट इज़ इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड? इलास्टिक, if we talk about the specific word, what is elasticity? के stretchable, आपकी प्राइस में जितना भी चेंज आ रहा है, डिमांड उसके लिहाज से कितनी स्ट्रेचेबल है, वेदर इट इज़ लेस रिस्पॉन्सिव, वेदर इट इज़ मोर रिस्पॉन्सिव. So the definition of this topic, elasticity of demand, is the degree of responsiveness or sensitivity of quantity demanded. Degree of responsiveness, how much is demand changed due to change in its price of a certain commodity that is acceptable in the market. तो यहाँ पे जो है हमारे पास हमें बताया जा रहा है कि कितनी डिग्री, कितने परसेंट जो है वो हमारी डिमांड में चेंज आएगा अगर तो प्राइस में चेंज आता है. और इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड टेल्स अस द proportion of change in quantity demanded of a product इन रिस्पॉन्स टू अ चेंज इन इट्स प्राइस. एक प्रोपोर्शन जो है हमें दिया जाता है कि इतने जो है परसेंट या इतने प्रोपोर्शन जो है वो डिमांड में चेंज आ रहा है. क्यों? क्योंकि प्राइस में चेंज आया है. अब वो प्राइस में चेंज हो सकता है, डिक्रीज़ भी हो सकती है, प्राइस इंक्रीज़ भी हो सकती है. उसको देखते हुए जो है वो डिमांड जो है उसके चेंज को तय किया जाता है. Now there are three kinds of elasticity of demand. Number one is price elasticity of demand. Number second, income elasticity of demand, and the number third is cross elasticity of demand. So we will discuss each type of elasticity one by one in detail. First of all, we will study this price elasticity of demand. As you can see from the name, जो अभी हमने एक जर्नल जो है वो डेफिनेशन पढ़ी है इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड, दैट इज़ द सेम एज द प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड. दैट डिफाइंस that is defined as the degree of responsiveness in the QD of a product in response to a change in its price, same as the previous definition that I have told you right now. Now Professor Marshall says elasticity of demand. He was a very well-known economist. He says elasticity of demand is either equal to unity. This is the first possibility. It can be more than unity, or it can be less than unity. So we have three possibilities due to which price elasticity of demand is discussed. So there are three methods for the measurement of price elasticity of demand. Number one is total outlay or expenditure method. Number second, percentage method. Number third, geometric method. So first we will discuss this is the subtype of price elasticity of demand. Okay. Today we will start with the total outlay or expenditure method. What does it say? In this method we measure total expenditure of a consumer to the quantity demanded of a product. ठीक है. ओके इसमें क्या होता है कि प्राइस चेंज हुई है तो अब क्वांटिटी डिमांड जो है वो चेंज हुई है, लेकिन क्वांटिटी डिमांड जो है वो कितने परसेंट जो है वो चेंज हुई है उसको हम एक्सपेंडिचर, कंज्यूमर ने टोटल कितना जो है वो अपना अपने एक्सपेंसेस किए हैं उस कमोडिटी के ऊपर, वहाँ से हम लोग जो है वो देखेंगे कि वेदर द प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी इज़ इक्वल टू यूनिटी और इट इज़ मोर देन यूनिटी और इट इज़ लेस देन यूनिटी. सो लेट्स स्टडी द 3 points one by one. Like for example, if the total expenditure of the consumer remains the same, as a result of change in price. ठीक है, ये इसका क्या मतलब है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, प्राइस में चेंज आया है और जो कंज्यूमर है उसने डिमांड भी किया है, लेकिन उसके टोटल जो एक्सपेंडिचर है उस पर कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ा। तो ये जो है दिस विल बी के, इसका ये मतलब है कि इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड इज इक्वल टू यूनिटी, राइट? दिस इज़ द फर्स्ट पॉसिबिलिटी। तो इसको अगर हम साइड बाय साइड जो है, वी विल डिस्कस इट थ्रू टेबल एंड द डायाग्राम। तो टेबल, इफ यू ड्रॉ द टेबल, व्हाट डज इट शो? It shows that we take the case of apples. Table, this is table number 1, in which elasticity of demand is unity. So this is our table. We are taking the case of apples. Okay, apples. This is our price corner. This is our QD, per kg of apples, and this is the total expenditure in rupees. Fine. Now let's take first the price. Our initial price was PI, that was 40 per kg, and the quantity demand was 6. Now when the price decreased from PI to P2 or P1, let's suppose this is 20, this is decreased, our quantity demand will increase as according to the law of demand. So now the total expenditure is unchanged. Consumer first total expenditure was 240 on 40 price of per kg apple, that is 240 rupees, and again his expenditure remains the same. Here it means that here the elasticity of demand is equal to unity, and elasticity is depicted by ND, that is equal to 1. Please understand this concept. This is very important according to the paper point of view, और इकोनॉमिक्स में डिमांड के लॉ को स्टडी करने के लिए इलास्टिसिटी को स्टडी करना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. If we take this case on diagram, diagrammatic representation shows that this is y-axis, this is x-axis. I told you earlier that quantity demand is always taken on x-axis, and the rest of the components are taken on y-axis. So here you can see this is 6 and 12 quantity demanded according to the table, and price is 20 and 40. So let's see, if it is 40, when it was 40, our quantity demand was 6, and when it came and became 20, it became 12. So this is unity. Our elasticity of demand is equal to unity, because we have equal change. When the price changes, the demand also changes, but in equal proportions. So ND is equal to 1, and this is our demand curve. Fine. This was equal to unity. Now we are dealing with the second case. Okay, here total expenditure of consumer increases with the change in price, और यहाँ पे with the fall in price. Okay. Total expenditure of consumer increases with the fall in price, and in this case, elasticity of demand is greater than 1. How this is greater than 1, this we will study here. We take the case of bananas here. previous we took the example of apples. Now we will take off the example of bananas. This is the price of bananas. This is the quantity demanded of bananas, and this is the total expenditure that is spent on bananas. For example, we discussed here that the price is decreasing as previous in the diagram or in the table. 40 decreased to 20. Now the quantity demanded of a product rose from 6 to 12, such as we studied in the previous table, but here the total expenditure increases from 240 to 320. This is an increase in the expenditure, and with the result of this our elasticity of demand becomes greater than 1. Okay, if we discuss it through a diagram, this is more than unity. So this is the diagram. This is not 6, this is 12, this is 16, यानी कि हाफ से भी थोड़ा ज़्यादा इंक्रीज़ आया हमारी क्वांटिटी डिमांड में प्राइस के इक्वली कम होने से. सो दिस इज़ 16. अगर हम इसको ड्रॉ करें डायाग्राम में तो वी विल सी हेयर this is our quantity demanded, that is 6, 12, 16 on x-axis. This is our y-axis and this is the price. The price, for example, is from 20 to 40, and we are going to locate it. Like for example, on 40 price, when price of bananas were 40, the quantity demand was 6. Clear up till here? Now when it decreased from 40 to 20, there was a very sharp increase in the quantity demanded as the expenditure rose. This is elasticity of demand, that is greater than 1, because you can see here in the previous diagram you can see that change was equal change in price, which caused an equal change in quantity demanded. But in this case, equal change in price, double change, or you can say less than double but near to double, that was quantity demand was changed. So this is more elastic. Our demand was more elastic. Why this is so? Because एक प्राइस डिक्रीज हुई है तो क्वांटिटी डिमांड में बहुत ज़्यादा जो है वो इंक्रीज़ आ गया है. ऐसे क्यों हुआ है? क्योंकि कोई एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर भी अफेक्ट कर सकता है. हो सकता है फैशन में वो चीज़ हो सकता है कंज्यूमर की इनकम जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा आ गई हो, बढ़ गई हो, या उसका कोई इंक्रीमेंट लग गया हो. सो दीज आर द एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स दैट आर अफेक्टिंग आर elasticity of demand. I hope you are cleared up till now. The third possibility of the same case, this is if total expenditure of consumer decreases as a result of fall in price. यहाँ पे भी एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स ही अफेक्ट करेंगे. देखिए फॉल इन प्राइस जो है वो तीनों पॉइंट्स में हमने स्टडी किया है. जहाँ पे हमारी पास इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड जो थी वो यूनिटी के इक्वल थी, वहाँ पे भी हमारी प्राइस डिक्रीज़ हो रही थी. जहाँ पे मोर देन यूनिटी थी उधर भी प्राइस डिक्रीज़ हो रही थी, और जहाँ पे लेस देन यूनिटी होगी उधर भी डिक्रीज़ होगी, प्रोवाइडेड दी एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स आर अफेक्टिंग द कंज्यूमर्स बिहेवियर एंड हिज चॉइस. So if we study it in the this is nd less than 1. If we study it in the diagram or in the table, you can see this is, we are taking the case of, for example, oranges. This is the price, this is the quantity demanded, and this is the total expenditure of the consumer. Price is decreasing from 40 to 20. The QD is slight change in QD. प्रीवियसली QD में बहुत ज़्यादा चेंज आया, लेकिन यहाँ पे स्लाइट चेंज आया. ओके, टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर जो है इट इज़ डिक्रीज्ड फ्रॉम 240 टू 160. ऐसा क्यों है? हो सकता है कंज्यूमर की जो बजट है वो थोड़ा सा डिस्टर्ब हो गया हो, किसी एक चीज़ में उसने एक्सपेंस ज़्यादा कर दिया हो, तो यहाँ पे ऑरेंजेस को बाय करने के लिए उसके पास इतना एक्सपेंडिचर ना हो, इतनी उसके पास जो है वो फाइनेंशियल जो है वो इतना ना हो कि वो पे कर सके टू बाय दिस फ्रूट. तो यहाँ पे जो उसकी क्वांटिटी डिमांड है, बहुत ज़्यादा प्राइस के फॉल होने से भी उसकी क्वांटिटी डिमांड में कोई इतना ख़ास जो है वो चेंज नहीं आया. If we study it in the diagram, so you can you will feel the clear difference here. Okay, like for example, y-axis we take price and x-axis we take quantity demanded. So this is, firstly it was 20, then it became 40, but our quantity demanded was 6, 12 and 16. So from the, if we locate these points on our table, you can see at point 40 our quantity demand was 6. This is our 40, our quantity demand was 6. But when it decreased to 20, there was a very slight change of our quantity demanded. Quantity demanded increase तो हुई है, लेकिन बहुत ज़्यादा कम. And look at the slope of demand. Look at the slope. This shows that elasticity of demand is less than 1. This is a very steeper slope, you can say. This is a steep slope. While in the previous diagrams the slope was very slightly it was increasing, while in this diagram you saw that the slope of elasticity of demand was quite steeper. So I think this concept is clear to you. Today we studied the first type of elasticity of demand, that was price elasticity of demand. I hope you must be clear. This is an important topic. If there are any questions related to this topic, you can ask in the comment section. Tomorrow we will study the income elasticity of demand. Okay, so I hope you will be cleared here. This is it for today. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.